Howdy everyone, Runt9 here, and welcome to Runt9 Looks at Lawgivers. Lawgivers is a political simulation game where it looks like you can control different aspects of your party, create and abolish laws, and just in general try to figure out the best way to run the political system of your given country. I stumbled across this. It came out in early access 3 days ago at the time of taking a look at this video. It was on April 2nd. I picked it up for $8 on Steam, so definitely a good price for, what is probably going to be a reasonably simple and straightforward turn-based political game. I'd actually just recorded a video for Trial of the Gods. I wanted to do a Runt9 Looks At on that one. Unfortunately, the audio on my microphone got messed up, and so I'm re-recording a different game because it wouldn't be a blind playthrough if I started looking at Trial of the Gods, but keep an eye out for that on stream. That game ended up being pretty interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into a new game here. All content, including countries, parties, events, laws, effects, or behaviors, is purely fictional and simply designed to fit with the gameplay. Therefore, this game does not in any way represent reality. All right. Unfortunately, there also isn't music in this game, so I apologize that there's not going to be like any sort of background stuff going on. How about we jump into the tutorial? I will probably want to bring my camera up just a bit and hang out right about there. Should be a solid spot for it, but we may have to reposition as stuff gets filled out. The party values are down here. The members count money, dirty money, and current voters percentage. Up here you can see some country values, budget, population, and happiness. Okay. These are the seats of your parliament. It is currently empty, but will be filled after your first election. Calendar and current week of the year. Every year has 52 weeks to play. Now press the end turn button to finish the week and progress with the game. All right, actually you have no seats in parliament and no influence, so let's take a look at the upcoming events on the calendar. Good, elections are a few weeks ahead and you still have time to advertise your party. Close the calendar again. Time to organize your first interview and get more attention and potentially new voters. Press on the empty week. You can insert events on the calendar. Click on interview. Open your party member list. Select the first member to send to the interview. I would venture to guess that these are different stats, so we'll probably learn what those are. You need to choose the media where you want to give the interview. We can go radio or newspaper, so how about we go for radio? Press the confirm to spend money and insert the interview into the calendar. Now we can progress to the interview. We click on that to start the interview. Select an action to promise your followers. So promise to raise happiness within some weeks, but you can see there's write and approve law, abolish tax, raise democracy, invest in more research, speak good about party, talk bad about party, speak good about law, speak bad about law. Okay, so there's a few different interview options, and I'm assuming that they have different things going on. And so it looks like there's also a slider here for how much happiness you can promise to raise. We'll continue like this to win an upcoming election. Every action you perform influences your voters' percentage. Look for question marks if you need help. Okay, so that appears to be the whole tutorial. Good to know. Definitely does seem to be a little bit on the light side so far, but I mean, I do see various different analytics and whatnot. I mean, the type of thing that you would expect out of a simulation game. So let's see what else we can do. I don't know what the rest of these are. That's event. So we already saw interview. That is a poll. Then we can't do the other three at the moment. So how about we do a poll? Would you prefer a man or woman as prime minister? How will you vote at the next general election? What laws would you like to see approved? Let's ask that one. It does cost 33 money. We are only sitting on 70, earning 5 per turn. But I think I'm good going for adding a new poll on the next day. So how about we take a look at the poll? Which laws would you like to see approved for parliament seats and retirement homes? Parliament must represent us all. Okay. And then retirement homes. Acceptance. Okay, there's a lot of different icons there. Acceptance shows how different ideologies or parties will evaluate this law. Green means this law is liked, red the opposite. The president may suspend this law for some turns. So I would venture to guess that all of these are different parties, and then these are different demographics. So it looks like there's only one party that has a negative on retirement homes, and it's the money party. So they don't want to spend money. That seems fair. And then you have the, not sure I can guess what that party is, but they seem to be neutral on it. Everyone else seems to be in favor of it, and all demographics like it. And parliament seats, all demographics like that as well. Yeah, it doesn't say anything extra about that. So the UI definitely feels a little on the clunky side. I'm not sure that I'm feeling confident in my abilities to comprehend the game yet. Let's take a look at this. So here's the elections. I don't know what party we were supposed to be representing either. But we ended up with the FL party, the blue party, got 10 seats. The LN party got 9 seats. The MS party got 21 seats. The PD party got 5 seats. And the SI party got 9 seats. So we had a 97.2% voter turnout. So this obviously isn't being held in America. 1.4% blank votes. So 54 seats, threshold 3%. Okay. So this is our current parliament. So how about you give me more information? Okay, so you can actually click on each member of parliament to find out more information on them. So the hearts are popularity, the brains are experience, and the, can't tell what that icon is, but blue is loyalty. You can buy for 72 dirty money, create scandal for 37 dirty money, or eliminate for 54 dirty money. Okay. So again, remind me, what party are you representing? Oh, we're representing the Green Party. Populazione Democratica, or PD. So what we need to do is attempt to gain more influence in Parliament, is what I would venture to guess our goal is here. So now at this point, we can draft a law or remove a law. And we have, what is it? These 4 seats right, or 5 seats right there are us. It says 3 there. Yeah, we have 5 lawmakers. So we have those 5 seats right there. And we have, oh, that's money. This is budget. Okay. The UI in this game is definitely on the clunky side. I hate to say it, but I mean, it is an $8 early access indie game. So I feel like I need a little bit more direction on what to do. What kind of events, protest. We could do another interview. So how about our party chair goes on, we'll go on the newspaper for only 29. We'll schedule that for tomorrow. We will set up another poll. Well, no, actually, we need to draft a law. So how about, yeah, this lawmaker has 2 experience and 4 loyalty. And okay, there are quite a lot of laws, but we saw retirement homes pop up. So how about we go for retirement homes? Since we have a poll to support that, it's going to use up 30 budget, cost 13 money, and take 4 turns. Seems totally fine. And then we also should be looking at, we'll have Giacomo here. He's already scheduled for an interview, so it doesn't look like we can select him at the moment. And then are there any laws that we want to abolish? Agricultural subsidy, election threshold, European Union, housing tax, prime minister's election, and research system. I don't feel like any of those are ones that we want to get rid of, although the housing tax would increase happiness. Yeah, it's neutral for most demographics, and most parties don't necessarily accept it. So how about we go for abolish that law? And then how about we go to the next turn and do the interview? So what action are we going to do? We're going to abolish a tax the next 10 turns, or at least we're going to try. So we can go look at the targets. We have raise happiness to 1, abolish tax. We have 16 turns to raise happiness, 10 turns to abolish the tax. So relations, Okay, those are not sliders. That's just an actual representation of... Oh, these are the other parties. Got it. So when we were looking at the demographics on this, for example, these are the other parties, and then these are probably the demographics. Ideologies or parties? Okay, these are ideologies. So money, security, peace, earth, environment, and I'm not sure what that one is supposed to represent. I wonder if we can find that out somewhere. Sorry, I realize a lot of this is me just trying to like understand the UI. Popularity, average age, elections, interviews, most voters, ideologies. Okay, so that right click closes. I would like to know more about the ideologies. There is a way to figure that out. So for dark money, you can wash 30 money, you can launder money. Okay. Members, I'm not sure what that necessarily does. We do have a more popular member that would be great to get hired, I would guess. Go ahead and hire them. We could give a bonus to loyalty. Flyer distribution increases voter percentage. So yeah, how about we hit both of those? Raise loyalty up to 4. And then I think 1 experience for loyalty also seems potentially useful. And we will spend money. I mean, you got to spend money to make money. That's politics in a nutshell. Up here, so we have more information on the country we're in. So we've got population, adults, children. We've got 5 different parties, 2 laws, 3 researches, corruption, democracy, life expectancy, prime minister. So it doesn't look like we have a prime minister elected. Regions founded. Here's the constitution, and you can see the different parties' viewpoints on the constitutional amendments. You've got a couple different laws that exist right now. And the housing tax is neutral by most parties, so we might be able to push that abolishment through now that I'm starting to understand it. Food is in a good spot. Housing is not. We do not have enough housing, and people seem to be generally unhappy with the laws. So there's a good way that we can focus to get some happiness added in. Here we go. Here's what the ideologies are. So socialists, nationalists, capitalists, conservatives, environmentalists, and globalists. So socialists have the highest percentage, closely followed by nationalists. So that's kind of where we want to focus. And the top 3 all very much care about housing at the moment. From a budgetary perspective, we can definitely donate into the budget. From a research perspective, being able to unlock more things that we can do for housing would be good. And then I'm assuming that's an events tab. So I'm just trying to like piece through the different stuff. We got nations, parties, population. At the moment, the US is number 1 in points. We are, how far down is Italy? We're number 11. From a population perspective, we are second to last. Food, we are number 1. And then we can't click on the last tab. First nation by population growth gets 2 points. The second, third, and fourth get 1 point at the end of each year. Points are distributed amongst countries at the end of the year. Okay, so we don't actually have any points yet. And then this is settings and whatnot. Okay, so how about we keep playing the game now that we're starting to piece through the UI. So retirement homes, we want to approve. And it looks like it is going to pass with flying colors. Easy, like that's almost unanimous. We only had 1 no vote. So changes to ordinary laws always require more than half votes. Constitutional laws require different votes amounts regulated by constitution. So we were able to get retirement homes passed super easily, and I would venture to guess that is going to raise happiness. So what are you doing? You're setting up for Compass. Not sure what that is going to do. So from an abolishment standpoint, I don't know if this is current party support of the law or party support of abolishing the law. So we'll kind of have to find out as we play. So definitely want to abolish this. Okay, this one is going negative. A lot of no votes. So we were not able to abolish this housing tax. So this is probably where we should have played the political game a little bit more and tried to win over some seats from some of the parties that may not have been interested. So I think, let's take a look at what this was. So the Orange Party here definitely voted to keep it. The Yellow Party was neutral, so it definitely seemed to be kind of mixed. Getting the Yellow Party on our side would have been beneficial since they have the current parliamentary majority. And then this other Green Party voted kind of half and half. Blue Party kind of voted half and half. So the main thing that threw us was the Orange Party being accepting of it was our main cause for why that did not go our way. So how about which laws would you like to be approved? How will you vote at the next GE? And would you prefer a man or woman as prime minister? How about we go for which laws would you like to be approved once again? Because that'll give us a good idea of some new laws to try to push forward. And then I think we want to try to have Giacomo abolish the housing tax again. Okay, you can't. There's probably a cooldown on how often you can try to do that. The election threshold has pretty good acceptance, so we're not going to be able to push that through. We don't want to exit the EU. Prime Minister election, everyone loves that. Research system, we might be able to push the research system through, but I don't think we want to. Then agricultural subsidy is something that is generally in high acceptance. I actually think we don't want to go for removing a law. How about we just check out the poll? Prime Minister term limits. So needless to say, no one in Parliament is interested in term limits. They would very much prefer to be able to keep their Prime Minister around for a long time. What do the clocks on y'all mean? Does it tell us one absence, one mandate? Okay. So you have an absence going on, and then this one, I don't know what the icons mean. This is a definite frustration with the game, is the UI is very clunky. So for the Prime Minister election, it looks like it's between the Yellow and Blue Party. And so what we want to do is figure out who votes more along our party lines and try to elect that Prime Minister. But I don't think we know enough information to worry about that. So how about we just go for that? So we raised happiness to 1. We hit one of our targets. That's going to raise our party approval rate. We have 12.2% of voters. So from an ideological standpoint, we are liked by the conservatives, globalists, and capitalists. So between the Blue and Yellow Party, which one tends to fall more along our party lines? I find out more on the Blue Party. How would I go about doing such a thing? I want to learn more about the different parties. And like I can see that there's a lot to this game that I want to dive into, but unfortunately, the UI is ruining the experience quite a bit. I feel like I would have so much more fun with this game if I could just figure it out. So, which party do we want to support? I think at this point, let's just support the majority and try to turn the majority of the parliament in our favor. We will just support that candidate. And it looks like they will win the general election because it is voted on by the parliament. Okay. So the Yellow party was able to put a prime minister of their desire into power. And so now this is where you start thinking about trying to buy their vote. What do we need to do? Well, I think getting to research would be interesting. We have a new constitutional law that has been proposed. It requires 75% votes, lawmaker, European Union. Okay. Well, what can we do? I want more that we can do. So how about we find some stuff that might raise happiness? Agricultural research, generally well approved by pretty much everyone. It does cost some budget. We do have a little bit of extra budget, so we can afford to spend just a little bit. Something that would raise happiness would be nice. Road maintenance costs money. Actually isn't kind of a unanimous acceptance. Party funding doesn't seem too bad. Public housing would help with housing. Let's go back. Now that we have retirement homes taken care of, let's take a look at where our housing is at. We're at 0 out of 4. It certainly wouldn't be the worst idea to get housing in a better spot. The current laws are creating some unhappiness, but how about we go for a little bit more housing goodies? We'll get Giacomo, or no, Matteo should definitely be the one writing the law. So from a housing perspective, the only thing we can do right now is public housing. It is in general acceptance, and I think that it'll pass without too much trouble. So definitely, let's bring that to a vote and call that tomorrow. It is going to cost some budget, but I think that'll be okay. From an abolishment perspective, I think that we should look at potentially getting rid. Wish we could get rid of the housing tax again. I don't know at what point that cooldown is going to pass. I think I'm probably playing this game a lot slower than you need to play it. Like, you need to just work your way through the years a little quicker. Obviously, we'll just go for an approval here, and it should pass pretty easily. Yeah, it had a lot of approval, or a lot of acceptance. It was mostly the blue party. We kind of saw that coming. So public housing has been approved, and now if we go look at housing on the next day, it should be in a better spot. Oh, it takes 4 turns to activate. We failed to abolish the tax. We have a message. Lawmaker involved in corruption scandal. So this one, this person is in prison. Okay. So there's public housing. Happiness has now gone up to 3. Excellent. Our happiness is in a really good spot. So we have a law to vote on. Agricultural research. This is Laura C. putting it forward. It's going to pretty much pass whether we like it or not. It's going to lower our budget by 2, though, which in my opinion is a little scary. I think we're going to go for a null vote on this one. Let the approval happen, but also let people know in our party that, like, hey, we knew this was going to pass, but we're not necessarily in favor of spending too much. So this is our first research ask. You received a small donation from an unknown supporter. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. So do we want to put research into school or police? Vote for the next research for your country. Pay attention to the researching time. So this one's going to take more than a year, but I definitely feel like researching school is going to be more popular with the voting base. So let's go back. What's our party got going for it right now? The conservatives, globalists, and capitalists. The socialists and nationalists don't care for us that much. I think school would probably get them more on our side. We might potentially lose some conservative voters, but I think that school is going to be the best way to go for us. This is a tight vote. It looks like police won out in the end. And I mean, that's okay. Either one would be fine, but I think that's going to help us more with the voters we already have. And so I don't know if that's necessarily what we want. So how about we do another interview? It's been a moment. I think we should probably be looking at... Let's bring in Camilla, because Camilla has that 3 popularity. We can go on radio and do an interview. We'll go to the next turn, do the interview, action. How about we speak good about law, and we'll speak good about the retirement homes that we did. So that'll hopefully give us a little bit of a party boost from people being more aware of like, hey, we did good things. Again, like I actually have no idea what it does, but you know, I'm starting to figure things out, maybe a little bit. So what if we drag Camilla further up? I honestly think that at this point, like Mateo should be promoted to the party leader. We can give a bonus to loyalty by paying them off, a mission to gain popularity and experience. That seems like a pretty good way to spend money. And similarly, you know, bring them to the top of the list. I think spending the money on Giacomo would be good as well. Yeah, go that route. And then Valeria, we don't have the money to hire them, so we'll just take a look at the law here. Constitutional laws. I mean, it's going to pass. I'm definitely in favor of that. We will certainly approve constitutional laws. So at the moment, I feel like I'm liking this game. I want to play more of it, but I am failing to see a lot of strategic depth. We are sitting number 1 on food. So how about we kind of just push towards the end of the year and get there kind of quickly? Our party percentage, what is that actual number again? Most voters. It seems like that's going up and down a bit. Road maintenance. That's going to lower happiness. So we need more money. I'm not sure how we get there. Our relations with the Yellow Party are positive. I mean, we did help put their prime minister in power. I don't know how we get more money. I mean, I guess we can launder some money, but at this point, who is the Blue Party leader? We don't have much dirty money, and I'm not sure how we get more. That tutorial was very, very light. I'm definitely going to decline this one, but I would really like to buy off the Yellow Party somehow. You're the party leader. We can't buy them off. What about the Orange Party? Nope. Can't buy their party vote. We need 127 for that. So I'm definitely going to decline this one, though. I don't want to decrease happiness. Even with that, some of our party still chose to vote for it. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, but that definitely passed with flying colors. That's going to lower some happiness. So again, I just kind of want to make it through to the end of the year. What does the acceptance look like on agricultural subsidy? We can't look at it, unfortunately. I look at it by going to our laws here. Yes, I can. So this one is probably going to be voted to be kept around. We should probably vote keep to align with the yellow and orange parties that we're already kind of buddying up with. Apparently we don't get to vote. There we go. Yeah, definitely going to be voted to keep the agricultural subsidy here. Again, I kind of want to get through to the end of the year, see what happens there. We had a lawmaker involved in a scandal. I want to see more mechanical depth. We've got another law abolishment here. We've also run out of money, and I don't know how to get more money. That's also a thing. Election threshold. I feel like we should keep that one as well. We can speed that up to skip through it. How about we just wash some of our corruption money? So that gave us a little bit that we can work with, because I would like to try to do another positive law with Mateo, who is like super popular. Or no, I wanted to do an interview. That's right. We want to do an interview for Mateo on the radio. We actually have exactly the right amount of money to do that. And let's go for speak good about the yellow party. That'll raise our followers or that'll raise our relations with them and potentially raise our popularity as well. Now, if we look at our relations, yeah, the yellow party is really happy with us, so they might be more likely to vote along our party lines in the future. So I'm just going to kind of click through till something important happens. We have a law to vote on. Prime Minister's election chosen by citizens between first two parties. I don't know what the 3 hand raises there mean. Green means that the president may suspend this law for some turns. Yeah, I mean, this one's going to pass no matter what, so how about we just vote to approve and then move forward. Research has been completed, so we can do some various safety-related things. So let's get through to the end of the year. I want to see what happens. So in 2020, we raised population, we raised budget a lot, we gained a little bit of corruption, we gained 1 point, we gained voters, lost a bunch of money, and lost a bunch of dirty money. So we are ranked number 8 in the world with 1 point. And so the game ends at 100 points, I think was the goal. First nation to reach 100. Well, it seems like that's going to take a while. I feel like there's some interesting stuff here. There's some fundraising that can be done. You know, we have another prime minister election coming up, more election for our seats. So we'll go through just this last little bit, and then that's going to have to do it for this episode. I want to dive in more. I want to try to see like what sort of customization you can do with a new game. Let's see. We don't have any money to really do anything with right now, so we kind of just have to sit here. So from an election standpoint, we still are going to hold the fewest seats. We did gain 1 additional seat this election, and now yellow has an overwhelming majority, which should end up being good for us. And then from a prime minister perspective, I mean, that's easily going to be a yellow win here. And then we have some research to choose. Let's go for parks in this case. Looks like Parks is going to win hands down, since that was what was voted on by the yellow party. And then we can fundraise. So how does fundraising work? You just get money. I guess it's probably based on things like how well your party is liked, how many people know about your party, that kind of thing. Because we have 13.8% voters. Our popularity is at 1.3. I wish we could see that number on other parties as well. And then it looks like we've got some more laws to do, and then we kind of go through the rest of the year. So this is going to do it. I'm kind of wavering in the middle on this game. The reviews were very positive, but I definitely saw some stuff about it just didn't feel that deep. And I'm kind of feeling that right now as well. I think it feels like there should be more to the game, and there's a good base here to build on top of. But for right now, I think Lawgivers is probably one of those things that's going to get tucked away, and I'm just going to keep up with the updates on it. Seems like they have been very active with patching since it came out the last 3 days, but you know, this is going to do it for Lawmakers. Definitely seems like an interesting game. We'll probably see more of it in the future, but that's going to do it for now. Thank you for watching. Let me know your feedback on this episode. Likes, dislikes, comments at Runt9 Plays on Twitter. All great ways to get in contact with me. In addition, please subscribe if you like this content. I'm doing a lot of videos all the time. Let's plays, looks at, reviews, all types of stuff. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of that. In addition, I do a lot of streaming as well over on twitch.tv/Runt9Plays, and there is a community Discord now, so you can get in touch with me and come hang out with all the other people who enjoy the content I make. So go check out the Discord link in the description below. But for now, until the next episode, I'm Runt9, and I will see you later.